Just the drug that they gave me, the number one side effect was seizures from this pharmaceutical company. So I kind of looked around and I found this guy as a functional medicine guy, and he got me on Methylene Blue to start off. And I know Mel Gibson was on here talking about it. And that instantly stopped everything.
In this video, we break down Chase's wild claim about Methylene Blue. Is it brain science or biohacker hype? Let's find out. Chase Hughes isn't your average guest. He's not selling supplements or pushing a new age idea. He's a former Navy intelligence specialist who spent 2 decades training operatives in psychological warfare, behavior analysis, and persuasion. He's trained interrogators, read micro-expressions, taught people how to extract secrets without torture. This guy understands the human brain like a mechanic understands an engine. But here's the twist. The man who used to diagnose human behavior couldn't recognize what was happening to himself. It didn't start with a bang. There was no dramatic collapse or screaming sirens, just silence, slippage, memory holes. He was losing time, and he didn't even know it. At first, it seemed harmless. He'd repeat stories, forget appointments, walk into a room, and wonder what he came for. We've all had that moment. But this wasn't normal forgetfulness. Chase was experiencing something called temporal lobe epilepsy, specifically linked to mesial temporal sclerosis, which causes scarring in the hippocampus. That's the memory center of the brain. Imagine your computer slowly deleting files at random. Then it deletes the backups. That's what was happening in Chase's head. And the most dangerous part? He had no idea it was happening. These weren't grand mal seizures. There were no spasms, no foam at the mouth. They were silent seizures, internal blackouts. He was having up to 9 a day. And during every one of them, his brain was losing millions of neurons per second. A quiet slaughter. Neurons being erased by the thousands. And no one could see it. He went to a doctor. The diagnosis came. The treatment? A prescription drug. Side effect number 1, seizures. That was his breaking point. He realized that the system couldn't save him. This is where things get weird. He turns to a functional medicine doctor, and they suggest something that sounds completely off the wall. Methylene Blue.
Methylene Blue goes in there and balances a lot of those things out in your brain and your nervous system. So it is a miracle, and it's been proven for 100 years. It's one of the most well-proven drugs out there.
Not a new drug, not a top-secret compound, a dye. The same blue liquid that used to color textiles. The stuff scientists use to stain cells under a microscope. That's the thing that might save his brain? He laughed at first. But when you're having 9 seizures a day, you stop laughing and start trying. He took a small dose, waited, listened to his body, and then the seizures stopped. Just like that. Not reduced, not slowed, gone. Okay, let's talk science. But let's keep it simple. Methylene Blue is a synthetic compound developed in the 1800s, first used to treat malaria. It's FDA approved for certain medical uses even today. But what's wild is what it does to your brain. First, it crosses the blood-brain barrier, which most substances can't do. That means it actually reaches your neurons. Second, it boosts mitochondrial function. That's the part of your cells that makes energy, especially in high-demand areas like the brain.
So he discovered this Methylene Blue has an affinity for neuronal tissue. So he says, well, it's sucking into neurons. What's it doing? So we could talk about, if you want to, but
sure,
how it's working and working in the body. So we started putting it in humans, and we found out it's an MAOI, which is just
monoamine oxide inhibitor.
Yeah, which helps with depression and anxiety and all kinds of life stress and stuff.
Third, it works as a redox agent. That means it can take stress off your cells by helping with oxygen transport and reducing damaging free radicals. Put simply, Methylene Blue doesn't just sit there. It helps your brain clean itself up and run smoother. That's why some studies say it improves memory, focus, and mental clarity. It's not magic, but it's also not a placebo. And yet, almost no one talks about it. This is where things get suspicious. Methylene Blue is cheap. It's effective. It has decades of research behind it. But if you walk into your average neurologist's office and ask about it, they'll probably give you a blank stare. Why? Because it's too old to patent. There's no billion-dollar pharma company backing it. There are no fancy marketing campaigns. There's no money in it. And so it's ignored. Chase had to become his own doctor, his own researcher, his own test subject. That's the future of medicine, whether we like it or not. When Chase dropped this on Joe Rogan, the reaction was pure disbelief. A blue dye? That saved your brain? But Joe had heard of it. In fact, he takes it too. So does RFK Jr., and a long list of underground biohackers, therapists, and even performance coaches. It's gaining traction, quietly. Why quietly? Because the people who use it don't want it overhyped. They want it understood. And the best part? It works with red light therapy. Like, really well. Here's the cool part. Methylene Blue absorbs red light. That means if you take it and then use red light therapy, the dye actually amplifies the effects. Red light helps cells regenerate. It reduces inflammation. Athletes use it. Dermatologists use it. But when combined with methylene blue, you might get supercharged cellular energy production. That's what Chase does now. It's not just about stopping seizures. It's about leveling up his brain. He said it gave him his edge back. That mental clarity he lost. The precision. The presence. Imagine losing your mind, then getting it back with light and blue dye. It sounds like science fiction, but it's happening. Okay, but is this all just anecdotal? Not entirely. There are peer-reviewed studies showing methylene blue can improve memory consolidation, protect neurons from oxidative damage, enhance mitochondrial respiration. It's even being studied in Alzheimer's research. And here's the twist. Some of the strongest results come from tiny doses. We're talking micrograms. This isn't a megadose trend. It's subtle, targeted, and it's not for everyone. Let's be real. Methylene blue isn't a toy. At high doses or mixed with the wrong meds, it can be dangerous, especially with SSRIs or other drugs that affect serotonin. Also, some versions sold online are industrial grade. That means contaminants, heavy metals, and other nasties. If you're going to experiment, you need pharmaceutical-grade methylene blue, and preferably under the guidance of someone who knows what they're doing. Because brain hacking is cool, until you break something. Chase didn't just fix himself, he transformed. He says methylene blue didn't just stop the seizures. It gave him back his mind. He got sharper, faster, calmer. He started giving it to his wife, his kids. He said it lifted their moods, improved focus, and even helped with anxiety. It's not a miracle, but it was his miracle. And now he's spreading the word, carefully, quietly, but with conviction. Because when you nearly lose yourself and then claw your way back, you don't shut up about it. You share the map. So what do you think? Is methylene blue the next big thing in brain health? Or is it just another fringe idea riding the podcast wave? Let us know in the comments. Have you tried it? Would you? And if you found this video eye-opening, give it a like, subscribe for more, and share it with someone who needs to hear this. Because sometimes the weirdest answers turn out to be the right ones. See you in the next one.